So this morning I was live on Hot Topics live podcast, my regular live that I do. And I had a great guest. Her name was Cynthia Barnamy, and we talked about healing intergenerational trauma. But at the end of that episode, you've got to stay to the end to see. I do this special thing, and after that, we were just talking, and everyone who was showing up live was leaving comments, right? And so we all came to the conclusion that I would call everyone watching the Hotties crew. So I'm going to stick with it. And of course, my phone always starts blowing up when I go live. I don't know why. So, Hotties, hello, Hotties, my Hotties crew. I like it. I'm sticking with it. So tell me, have you been watching this series? If you haven't seen the first 3 episodes, then you should go back and watch them. Drop a like, share them, comment, all of that good stuff, because it helps this podcast reach the people it needs to reach and help them if it can help them, right? So that's what we want to do. That's the goal. Just help people, pay it forward, spread the love and remind them that they're amazing and they deserve to be living the best life possible, as do you. And that's what this podcast aims to help you do. So let's get right into it, shall we? Let's talk about dating. So, what have we done? In the first episode, I dove into that's my son, he's going outside. I dove into all about why I'm doing this, right? And why I thought that this was an important topic to discuss. And in the second episode, we talked about the mindset you need after you've been in a long-term relationship or you've been married for, you know, more than 5 years, where I'm talking like 10, 18, 20, like more, like a long time, right? And you've been in this long-term relationship. Maybe it wasn't a marriage, but it was like, long-term. And you are now single and you are thinking about, how do I put myself back out there? How do I get out there and start dating again? It's kind of scary. You've been hurt in the past, you've been in a relationship that didn't work out and you invested a lot of time and maybe even lost yourself in it, male or female, because it happens to men too, right? And you've been in this long-term relationship and you just don't know how to get started. You don't know how to put yourself back out there again, So this is what this series is about. So we talked in the second episode about mindset and how to get your mind right, because there's a lot of negative beliefs and programming that you may have, right? Or unhealed wounds that you may have that will prohibit you from getting yourself back out there or finding a person who is a good match for you or even trying. So we started there and then we went into, would you date you? Right? What do you need to do to feel gorgeous, sexy, and amazing or hot and fine AF? Okay. Would you date you? If you took a look at you, would you like what you saw? Would you try to kick it, as we used to say? So, if you don't know me by now, I'm Kia. I'm a coach. I've been coaching for a long time. I've coached over 1,000 students at an online academy of adults from all over the world. And I want to bring those strategies and techniques of the performance coaching I do to help them get through the courses into this experience of dating. And I'm not just coaching, I'm doing it. I'm speaking from experience. I'm out here in these streets right now, so to speak, right? Boots on the ground, as we used to say in the military, dating, doing the thing after being in a very long-term committed relationship. So if you're watching live, feel free to comment. That way you can be part of the show and we can kick it together. And if you're feeling anything I'm saying, or if you want to add some input, just drop a comment and we'll maybe throw it up there. So for the whole world to see. So now that you know me, you know what um, the first two episodes were about. Actually, three. We did three. You can go back and watch them. And then the fourth episode is, well, once you've got your mindset right and you know you believe that you can find someone good out of these 7 billion people in the world, there can be someone for you once you wrap your mind around that, right? And get all of the noise and the negativity around dating and online dating and all of that out of your mind. Then you've taken a look at yourself, at your wardrobe, at your physical, aesthetics, and stepped up your game, right? Got yourself ready, put yourself together, whatever you need to do to feel good about you, essentially. You've done that, and now you feel like, okay, if I was out, I would come up to me and approach me, right? Or I feel good about approaching somebody the way I'm looking and feeling. And part of what we discussed with mindset was also, are you healed enough? And I shared a story about a guy that I met who I had to tell him, hey, I don't think you're healed enough. You should not be dating yet. You should take yourself off the market and do some more healing work from your breakup before you go out here damaging women, right? And it could have been a woman just the same, like hurt people, right? So you have to do the internal work. So as much as I'm like, would you date you on the exterior? It's not all about that. Obviously, that's the ABCs, right? So we know that it has to be internal work as well to be ready to put yourself out there to be dating, or else you're going to get hurt and or hurt people. And that's not what anybody wants or needs. Okay? So essentially, this part is about, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to put myself out there and I'm ready to start meeting people. How do you do that? So let's talk about it. How do you do that? So, well, you've got to choose. What is your preference? Okay. A lot of my friends go, I don't know about online dating, Kia. I don't know about that. I don't like it. I just want to meet people in person. Well, they call that IRL these days, and that's meeting in real life. Okay. And so if you don't know what that means, it might be a term that's not quite Gen X or above, and it might not be familiar to you, but that's what it's called, IRL. And so if you're going to meet people IRL, that's cool. You can totally do that. There's ways to do that. But I suggest don't snooze on dating online. It can be fun if you adopt the right mindset. And that way, you also increase your odds of meeting people. Because again, I mentioned in episode one, it's the law of averages. The more people you meet, the more chances you have of meeting the right person. But that's not to say that you should give every single person that you meet a chance to date you. You have to use discernment and see who is worth your time and energy and effort, who is worth getting your face on, getting dolled up, who's worth getting your good cologne out, right? Like who's worth your suit and your tie, like, getting yourself really sexy for. Who's worth your time? Because I don't want to waste my time and I don't want my time wasted at all. And I don't want to waste anybody's time. So the bottom line is pure and simple. You have to put yourself out there when you're ready to be out there, and you have to put yourself in enough places to meet enough people so that you can find one or a handful of them that you really can connect with, right? And we're all looking for that special person. We're all looking for someone that, we have something in common with, but that's enough different that we can really enjoy, like the polarity. We're looking for these things, and you really do have to know what you want, right? So if you don't know what you want, I'm going to give you an activity that you can do right now. You can pause, or you can't pause this, but if you're watching it in the replay, you can pause the video and you can write it down, or you can drop a comment. What do you want? Write it down. Like, seriously, my therapist gave me this homework one time and it worked really well as it's a technique that I've used in lots of coaching sessions. And what I have found is that a lot of people don't even know what they want. They don't know really what they're looking for. And a lot of times it starts with what you don't want. So you probably are really familiar with what you don't want, right? So how about what you do want, right? So write it down. Write it down. Write down what you are looking for. Okay. And if you can get that to like the top 10 qualities and the top five, that'll be really helpful. I'm not saying you shouldn't have everything you want, you should. Okay. But you'll know when you meet someone, when you're really, really clear on the qualities that you're looking for, you'll know when you see it, right? You'll know when you experience it. Okay. And so that's one technique you can do to start getting prepared to get out there. So you're going to choose how you want to meet people. My recommendation is always going to be to do both. Don't don't be shy about dating online, right? It's fun in a way. It's almost kind of like shopping, you know? And you just get a chance to get a sense of what's out there and talk to people. I look at it a lot like an experiment and practice. So, a lot of the dating coaches tell you that you need to practice dating. You need to practice your feminine energy or your healthy masculine energy. You need to get out there and you need to practice it. And so, you want to create good dating experiences. Every date might not be the one. And that mindset of look, I'm looking for the one will emit energy that you may not want to emit. Okay. So, not to say you can't date with intention. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, and not that every date should be an interview either. But I'm saying that when you're out dating, you want to be creating these really good experiences and creating dates and practicing talking to people and connecting and understanding the opposite sex and what they're putting out, right? And understanding, how to connect with them through conversation